Right, this week, this is the prep, this is where we're at so far, and I hope you appreciate that. I'll hold it back a bit. I have to do quite a few of the stages before I'm on, because it would just be so much time with the hairdryer getting it all dry. This is just simply clipped together to keep the page flat because it was starting to curl a bit. So I had obviously stuck the pages, 3 pages together with matte finish, having removed the section first. I have then gessoed all of it. Hi Louise, hi Angie. I have then used a writing stencil to do with textured paste to create, which is going to show up a bit more in a while. And then I've done, can you see this wacky girl? And she is wacky, with her feet up, and she's kind of reading a book. So that's what that page looks like. Now my wacky girl started off as an even wackier sketch. Her first eye was up there. So this was kind of the idea. Now can you see here, that is a pile of books. So I've created my pile of books with a strip of cardstock, some cut up strips of cardstock, and then I've used distress ink around the edges, and I've used that one and the stone grey, bits of both around them. So I've stuck them all on to sort of age up the edges. And then I'm going to get a pen and curl it. Just curl the whole thing around my pen. It's all going to make sense in a minute, I promise. Right, so I want a bit of curl. Thank you for sharing, Louise. Hi, Jill. So now I've got quite a curve, can you see? Which is starting to make the spines of my book look rounded, which is what I want. I might do one more before I actually stick it on, but that's a good place to start. Now that's, I've got 2 separate books to lay across here that I'll stick on afterwards, but before I stick these books on, I'm going to obviously get down to work on the background because I don't want to be poking around with paintbrushes underneath. So I'm going to turn the camera around so you can see what I'm doing. I just wanted you to see the starting point of my books. It's cool, isn't it? Right, so I need a little while to wait for the laptop to catch up. That's my books. And I'm going to stick my books on with these raised pads so that they actually stick up a bit as well. So that would be quite fun. So I wanted to just get some background on, and I'm going to use Fairy Chic. I'll try and get that in as much view as I can. Probably just needs to go up just a little bit. Better? Hi Sharon. So I was kind of going for a vintage feel with the vintage books, the library. So I'm just putting a wash of Giselle. Normally I would do the whole background first and then put the image on after, but I knew this image was going to take a little while to sketch out because she's a bit of an awkward shape. So I've done it the other way. So I'm just mixing my Melusine and Giselle just to give it will start picking up some of that lovely writing that I'd pre-done as well. And I will probably use my distress ink around the edges as well, just to finish aging this page up. So I'm doing it as loosely and quickly as I can. Yeah, they do work really well together. They also go really well with Dima. Giselle and Dima is a fabulous combination. Right, I'm going to leave it at that. I've got a little bit of red, a bit of Lorelei, because I kind of, that feels a bit that same sort of colour as well. Yeah, her live really was great, and I'm very lucky to have Louise, because Louise is a fantastic furniture painter, and she's going to be doing bits and pieces on my page from time to time to help show you how to use the Fairy Chic products on furniture, which is something that I have done for a long time, but I have not done much of at all lately since I've changed my premises, and I just haven't got storage space for endless bits of furniture. So that's worked out really well. There, I think it looks quite nice with the Lorelei in there as well. Cool. Oh, exciting news this week. Fairy Chic stencil brushes are in the house, guys. Look, it's even got Fairy Chic written on it. So they are on my website if you want them. Just going to give it a very quick dry and then we'll crack on with her. So obviously I've left this in more visual because it's what you're going to see more of. So I'm going in with a fine black marker. This is 0.5. Straight. I've done my sketch and it is very sketchy. So now I'm going in to go over the lines that I've already made. So I'm kind of, I've got this thing about these huge great eyes at the moment going on. And I settled for, after many attempts at glasses, at doing a kind of Harry Potter style. And there's the other one there. I really like this kind of sketchy feel in my journal. We had a session in a club last night where I show you about proportioning face and sketchiness and getting this look down, and that was in the main club, so all levels have access to that tutorial. And we're doing more on proportion and just generally getting fun back into drawing. Now you can see from my drawing here, it's obviously a face, but I have stretched the boundaries and I have elongated her neck. Don't ask me why. It worked. It worked to get me. Has anyone else been doing their books this month? Oh my god, my husband takes the position of he doesn't have a clue, doesn't know how to do any of it, so therefore not only do I have to do my own, I have to do his as well. Yesterday was the day. I think it was about 7 or 8 hours later, fit to kill someone. I said, I've finished. And he said, well, I don't really know what all the fuss was about. Oh, that's like, you don't say that, do you? Dear God, they don't make it easy. So this pen is struggling a little bit with the texture. I've got to give it some love. Now I've got this weird body shape going on here. I kind of like it though, I kind of like the fits quite well with my break the rules kind of view on life. So I'm just following the line that I've already set before I can start filling her in. I don't know how I'm going to fill her in yet, I haven't quite decided. I had kind of thought she could have like one of those hairstyles that roll back. Yeah, quite like that. So there'll be more hair. Yeah, stencil brushes are going to be very useful for both my worlds, furniture and art. I always, some people put elastic band around the end. I always put masking tape around the end just to keep the end bunched up and tight. Stops it splaying out under the stenciling, but it's obviously great for blending and stippling and right. Now I've been using, I've got since last time, these skin tone pencils, which I really quite like. I don't know how they'll work on this texture, but I'm going to have a go. You know, I keep using sort of different, I could use paint, but I'd like to try. These are Derwent, and they are simply a face set of pencils. They were £10. I got them in Hobbycraft. You can probably get them cheaper on Amazon. Right, so just giving it a very rough one tone. I think she's going to have stripy arms, so I might not bother with her. I'll do the hand though. Jungle animals. So I'm going in with a slightly darker. These 6 colours, they work so well together that you can literally put them on top of each other. I'm just going to turn the music's taking over, isn't it? Okay, so I'm just being quite loose and quite scribbly with it at this stage. And I might add bits of paint in. This is definitely harder to do on the texture that I've created than it is on a plain page. But I'm going to do a nice red flower in her hair actually. A rosy cheek. I have put a link at the top to the Fairy Chic Club. There are 3 levels in the Fairy Chic Club, and the cheapest one is £6 a month, that's all. And for that you get 10% discount off lots of different products and tutorials. I did one in there last night regularly. I've got a guest visitor coming in this month, and I've got another guest visitor next month. Can't quite tell you who yet. And you get to be part of a really special and lovely community for £6 a month. And you get to see what all the rest is about without having to commit to anything more. And if you want to commit to more, there is a £12 a month level. And that gives you 25% discount on all of my products. And if you're interested in retailing paint, or you use paint as a regular part of your business but don't necessarily want to sell it, but you use a lot of it, or you want to sell it, you can join the club at £25 a month, which seems like a lot, but you don't have to commit to any huge amount of paint orders or any regular paint orders. You can, I'm not going to chase you and say you haven't ordered, so you can start your business as fast or as slow as you want. You can obviously do a huge order if you want, but you will get 40% discount off the retail prices every time you order, which is just a whole new way of doing business. Alright, I'm giving her a little bit of a rosy lip there. I have put the link at the top if anyone wants to just hop over and have a look what you get for your money. You don't have to commit. Got lots of business advice and help going on in the Magical Palace. That's the top tier level. So I'm helping you with all your social media, YouTube, bookkeeping. Video has gone up this week. But every little helps, right? And I've been a shopkeeper. I've had a concession. I work from home. I've done all I've stocked various products as well as various brands of paint. So I've kind of tried it all. So I'm hoping that I can help you guys in the club setting. Learn from my mistakes, do better. I'm just looking for my black Posca pen because this is struggling. I don't know where it is. Hang on. I'm not going to say it out loud, guys, but I've almost got too much stuff. I didn't say it. Here we are. Got it. So this is a Posca pen. It's a bit thicker and it's a bit more forgiving on the texture, I think. There she goes. Right, so I'm going to start to bring in a bit more of the detail of my wacky face. I tend to try not to do individual strands of hair more than just the impression of hair with the shape. Find that works. Right, don't ask me why, but I've got a thing about stripes at the moment. So until I've got that out of my system, everything is going to have stripes. I also really have a thing about dots. So I like these really, perhaps not entirely lifelike, over-exaggerated eyes. I quite like the quirkiness of them. Hopefully you can see her a bit more now, she's popping out. And then I did this weird, and this is just like the doodling bit of, did this weird collar, a bit like a clown. I haven't decided what colour dress, so she is going to have stripy legs. Maybe she'll have a stripy dress. Yeah. Sometimes this is like a confident, it feels like I've done it twice because I've gone over with the thin one, but sometimes it's just confidence to check it out first, like you do it with pencil first. Don't want to go straight in with pen and then fine black, and then finally when you're happy with it, this strength. I think that's okay. I like this stage the best because I just keep playing and adding the detail that I think make the drawing the fun bit. I'm just making it up. Some crosses, laces on her boots. Do some bows. There we are. Right, I've got to decide what to do with the bottom. I think I am going to do big fat stripes. With stripes, you've got to remember to try and follow some shape of movement. Obviously, you're not going to do dead stripe across. You've got to follow. I'm really liking my journal now. I've got to the point where I can just leaf through and sort of get some inspiration, which is really nice. But as I was showing in the club last night, I have my sketch journal, which I sit on the sofa, and you've seen some of the sketches that I've shown. This is some of the stuff that we worked on last night together. So this is me, you can see the stripe feature. This is me trying to kind of hone different positions that people are in. This is one of the attempts of what I'm doing at the moment. So I've got lots of different, I've got some all sketched out to draw different positions of people. This is what I do so that I can use it as reference when I've got an idea in my head, because I've got some person already sketched out. And it means I can just do it in the evening when I'm watching a bit of telly. It's quite relaxing. I don't need loads of materials, just pencils. Thank you guys. If you haven't already, could you please share the feed out, just 1 or 2 places. Oh, look at her stripes. So now she's got to have stripy arms. Oh my god. What should we call this page? Stripy? We've been trying to think of names for the ukulele because my children, this probably sounds a bit bonkers, but a lot of George's friends played the uke as well, and my son does, and my older son does as well, so there's quite a lot of us, and now me. And they all call their ukulele a name of a spice or a herb. So George's is currently basil. I think Ryan's just got himself a new one and he's called it Wasabi. Wasabi? Mine is yet to be named. I quite like Paprika, but then Georgia decided she wants a second uke and she's going to call it Paprika, so I can't have it. So I'm trying to think of a good name for my ukulele, and then I can maybe even paint it. You see how much difference that, just the doodling. I don't think she's got enough hair going on here yet. Yeah, I like Paprika, but Georgia says she's got copyright on it now. Then there's one of her friends got turmeric, which I quite liked. I thought maybe saffron. I think Jordan's is mixed. He decided he wanted to be mixed herbs or spice, I don't know. That's him making a statement. Cayenne, yeah, I like cayenne. Like cayenne pepper, rosemary. So like hot chilies, cayenne. Quite like that. So we spend our evenings looking up herbs here, guys. This is in between playing tunes, and as you know, I'm learning the Creep song, which I really like, and it's actually only got 4 chords. So that's a bonus, guys. The trouble is the whole thing involves me singing, and anyone that knows me would leave the room. So I'll have to play and get Georgia to sing. I think there's nothing else for it. I think a little red flower is in order. I've also got to sort her book out. Yeah. Quite like that. Oh, I might have some red boots actually. Let's have some red boots. I'm setting a trend here, you know, guys. You're all going to go out and buy yourself some stripy outfits and some kinky red boots called Cayenne. Just putting it out there. So there she is. Right, let's get that book. Probably need. Can you hear my cat, guys? Right, I'm struggling with the book, to be honest. Trying to get it at the right angles and stuff. I'll play with that. Right, I'm going to get my bookcase, my books on now. Let's have a look. Where did I put that? Here we are. Hi Fiona. So I've got my roll of books that's all stuck together on one bit, and it's going to go here. Yeah. So I'm going to use these little pads because I want them to be just slightly raised. So I'm going to turn them over.
I don't recognize these feelings. Try to understand it. Why do I keep running back to you? Stop searching for redemption.
so there's my books. Now I'm going to carry on back with my Posca to try and add in a bit more book details. So I could stick bits on, trim and so on, but I like the fact that the pile's uneven. That's what caught my eye when I first saw it. And then so on some of them we could have some writing. Some of them have already got writing, so I won't ruin that. I'm just doing some fake illegible writing. Like book-like. So, this probably needs some. Yeah. Probably needs some. I think the whole book probably needs darkening up a bit, really. It's the wrong colour, isn't it? Might even need a bit of paint on that. I'm going to go back to my ink pads and just distress up around the edges. And I used one of these, and I've got a brown and a black. Well, it's brown, it's called Gathered Twigs. And this, well, it's not black actually, it's stone grey. And I'm kind of going in with both. You can see it's sort of coming up a nice dirty brown, which I quite like. It gives a smoother, less, in the past you've seen me sort of drag this stamp pad across, which is totally fine, but it's not as smooth. And I really wanted to age up, vintage up. I like the dark edges around all of the pages. It really helps with framing it, I think. Hi Shaz. Well, you saw the starting point last night, Shaz. Now we're going to use some of that ink again. It's going to pick up that lovely texture and writing that we did with the raised stencil. And she fun. A few little whitey patches, that's fine. Feels like there's quite a space here. There should be probably shadowy hair. You can probably hear that squeaking, and that's the texture. The gesso, because when I put the gesso on, while it's still wet, I squidge the pages together, and it gives a lovely texture. This book is all about, it's got layers and layers, and I really like that. It's just touchy-feely as well once it's all dry. Probably a bit more doodling. I don't like that red because it's still wet. Hi Caroline, thank you. What's this? This is just like a spongy distress stamp. It costs, I don't know, £5–6. It's called Ranger, but it's literally to put on these distress inks, and it comes with removable velcroed pads. It came with 2, but I tend to only use the 2 colours anyway. So it'll probably last me quite a long time. I presume you can probably put the pads in the wash. Yeah. In the past, I've used these just like this, which is fine. And you get a deeper, darker black. I think you can probably see. And I think that's cool for both, to be honest. Like it's not black, it's stone grey. I keep saying that. So it gives a nice edge, but sometimes it gives a scratchiness, which, whereas using the sponge like I just have, you can get like you can use it on the inside as well. Like I couldn't just go like that; it would show. But it gives a softer tint, just to age it. Got to finish her eye. And the thing is, when we've got glasses, we're tempted not to. I've got an eyebrow. Grief. Once I get back to the end of this journal, I'll do a session on creating and starting a journal, sort of how we start one from scratch. But if you go back to some of my previous YouTube videos, I have described how you do it. And you just buy a book. This is a book from a charity shop. Just needs to have stitching in it. That's the crucial. It has to be stitched together, not glued. She needs a brown eye. I don't know if it looks better drawn or if it looks better painted, but it's different. Like this was all painted. That was all painted. That's got a lot of white in it, which this hasn't. They just look nice, different, I suppose. These pens are struggling today. Struggling with my texture. This paper is literally the paper of the book, and I have removed pages. I'm kind of about there, so let me pull the camera up and show you what we've got. Okay, Yeah, they all work. It's because there's some dry wetness going on. There's some texture going on. It's fine, but look, she's quite cool. And look at those books. I quite like. Even a funky neck and a weird position, it kind of works, doesn't it? So yeah, look, these are the book pages. So this is quite stiff because I have stuck 3 pages together using Fairy Chic matte finish. If you haven't got that, you can use Mod Podge, but that's what I use. So I've stuck it together. So these are still loose, and what I will do when I need to, and you'll see it's upside down as well because that was a mistake I made with the front of the book. But first of all, I stick the pages together, and then I do that quite often, which is stick bits of paper all over it. This has made it a really thick page now. And then I would gesso, and then I would start my artwork. So I'm having to remove pages from the book. So look, this was a 2-pager that was deliberately meant to flip. And then this leads me nicely back before we go to, this is January's challenge, and it's called My Rainbow Heart. And this was a 2-pager, and it says, it's back to front, I know, My Rainbow Heart. And I made it out of eggshell mosaic. If you want to see this tutorial, it's on YouTube, Fairy Chic Emporium. And here's my rainbow girl. The challenge is to have a go at your own rainbow heart, not necessarily on a book, but in your own art style, however you do it. Post it on your page, share it to the Fairy Chic Painting Forum group, and put hashtag my rainbow heart, hashtag magical painting, those 2 hashtags, and you will be entered into a draw that is going to go on at the end of the month to win up to the full selection of 20 of these little art pots. Okay, so for every entry I get, I'm putting one of these art pots into the prize. So if I only get 5 entries, 5 pots are up for grabs. But it's not about skill, it's about taking part. So please have a go. Hashtag magical my rainbow heart and hashtag magical painting. So a few things for you to do and get involved. Love for you to get involved. There's a link at the top to the club website if you want to see what that's all about and what we've got to offer you, because we've got lots. And I shall be back on very soon. I shall show a close-up picture of what we've done today, but I'm really chuffed with that. Look at her. It's quite fun. Alright guys, thank you so much. Hop off and do your jobs. And see you again really soon. Bye.